Hello, hello. Bonjour à tous. And yeah, this is Advance Wars, and you probably know the guy behind me, Kirby Master.
Hi, I'm here again. I forgot to bring Terrium on for my run, so he's here, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So Advance Wars, pretty known
Ну что, парни, у нас
tactical
тут
game back from
Advance
2001,
Wars
which
игра.
was the first introduction to the war series that
Очень,
existed since
очень
the
милая
NES
штука.
in Japan, and this is the first game with that
Тактическая
developed
игра.
in the western side.
Еще со времен NES она
Yeah,
как бы
this
в
is going to be
Японии
pretty similar
появилась.
to Fire Emblem, but not quite. There's quite a few changes. One of them is that, well, we don't have heroes, we just have units that you
Очень
can,
красивая
we
музыка у
can
нее.
sacrifice them, which leads to pretty interesting strats. So let's go straight away. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
Говорят, тут очень интересные
Yeah, in
страты.
Advance Wars, your objective in the majority of missions is to capture the HQ. I'm not
В
gonna
принципе,
go
ран
over, like, what every
начинается,
single unit
когда
does, it's just
нажимаем
information
новую
load
игру.
and stuff. If you play the game, you know what everything does. If you don't, you only need to know basics. So, Blue is Olaf. He's our
Основная цель, ну, знаете, напоминает немного Fire Emblem, потому что главная цель — это главную базу захватить врага. То есть это такой вот Fire Emblem с танчиками.
Objective is to either kill everything on the screen, which is slow, or just capture HQ, which is way faster. Our goal is usually to
Ну,
get
танки
an
хорошо
infantry
выносятся
unit to HQ. So the other unit that we have
пехотой
that's
с
important is an APC unit. So you kind of see that little rectangular thing.
ракетницами.
Yep, that thing. That is a transport unit, and transport units can carry infantry.
Вот. Ну, короче, чтобы захватить командный центр, нам обязательно надо туда пехоту завести, а не танк.
Yep. So literally double the movement. So we're going to try to
Вот он сейчас походил транспортным юнитом, он может перемещать пехоту. Заблокировали на мосту отряды противника, вывели из нашего БТРа мужичка и, так сказать, засейвили его с двух сторон, бронетехникой и танком. И вот наш мужичок заходит на базу врага, немного ее подламывает, но надо еще немного нанести удар.
S-rank.
S-rank, let's go.
Well, the problem with S-rank is that I'm going to get more coins here, and that's a little bit slower, but hey, it's a faster strat, so it's just better to take the coins.
Yeah, your ranking system focuses
В общем, очень старая серия игр, на самом деле. У нее недавно ремейк выходит еще.
There's a lot of fast turn skips that we do that are actually intended in this game, so that's pretty clever. And the other rankings are basically survival, not losing many units, and then combat, which is basically killing as many units.
Тут, в принципе, можно делать достаточно быстрые ходы. Мы не паримся по поводу того, что тут противники, их много. Нам не нужно всех их уничтожать. Мы просто продвигаемся, используем вот БТРы, чтобы максимально подальше закинуть пехоту. При этом пехоту надо сохранить. Такая вот поддержка пехоты бронетехника. Самое главное, короче, пехоту... Главное, чтобы пехота выживала, вот, а технику можно приносить в жертву вполне.
Weaker direct units.
And by indirect and direct, we basically mean range and not range. So in this game, you can kind of see on grid side, there are two rockets in the upright corner of the screen. Those are indirect combat units. They can attack from 3 to 5 tiles and hit you really hard.
Чистим проход.
So they're really strong because
продвигаемся плавно.
But in this game, ranged
Так, он пытается посмотреть радиус противника, чтобы не потерять бронетехнику. Вот видите, он посмотрел радиус танка и придвинулся на то место, где танк может только подъехать к нему, но не атаковать. Отлично, расчистили путь. Ничего не потеряли. У нас тут есть, так сказать, суперсилы. Да, мы можем использовать снайперскую атаку. Разные, так сказать, специальные силы нам дают разные обилки. В данном случае мы отстреляли просто мешающих нам противников. И все, мы добили базу врага. Это победа.
And in general, if you follow, if you've seen Kirby's runs of Fire Emblem, you know that having as little movement to do as possible in a turn is usually better than
Мы не сейвимся, конечно же.
having less turns to do. So,
Вот. И переходим на глобальную карту. Any процент этой игры есть чисто any процент. Там существует такая штука, как map glitch, когда мы ломаем эту карту и проходим вообще очень быстро игру. Переходим на более поздние этапы игры. Сейчас у нас есть авиация, поддержка авиации. Очень неплоха, у противника тоже как бы луком не шит. И у нас есть вертолет, транспортер. В данном случае это очень большое преимущество для спидрана, потому что мы можем очень далеко закидывать пехоту, но пока что мы очень кучно передвигаемся, очень большой группировкой, так сказать, заходим, чтобы противник не атаковал нас по нашим важным целям, чтобы не лишил нас пехоты. Вот, если мы потеряем транспортер с пехотой, это будет как бы поражение, это ресет сразу. Ну вот этот противник использует свою особенную обилку Lightning Strike. Очень опасный бомбардировщик, но мы использовали манипуляцию, оставили, так сказать, цель, чтобы избежать его атаки на вот транспортный юнит. И мы используем вот такой скип, мы залетаем транспортником на вражескую базу, ставим вертолет на пути у врагов, чтобы чтобы никто не проехал. И как бы не могут помешать захвату вражеской базы. Это да, начало. Раунд только начался, он будет еще где-то час.
So, we were just introduced to air units, now we're introduced to naval units. Again, we don't need to go over what cruisers, submarines, and battlecruisers are. But we will go
Так
over
что, да,
what
вот у нас тут
landers are.
новые юниты, это флот уже пошел, подводные лодки.
So our goal is to make sure the landers stay safe, so we can sneak over an infantry to the HQ.
Фрегаты.
That right there looks dangerous, but that's a battleship, and that's a ranged unit that cannot attack adjacent units. So that's actually safe.
Вот этот, кстати, корабль может перемещать пехоту. Да, расписание, ребят, поехало где-то на час вперед. Так, ну и вот, как видите, огромная группировка врага в этой миссии, но мы просто спокойно по морю передвигаемся на его базу и захватываем ее в пару ходов. Значит, к сожалению, оно почти всегда там... Раньше вообще на 3 часа спокойно могло уехать. Так что, как бы, это... Не знаю. Вот. Бывали времена, когда очень сильно ездило расписание. Вот сейчас куда лучше в этом плане. Хотя все-таки
So we're
это
introduced to Max on the first map,
лайф-марафон
and we had the
за
choice
долгое
between
время.
Max and Andy, and we went with Andy, so now
Вот.
the game forces us to go with Max.
МГС
We never
Райзинга
explained what
будет
Andy and Max
точно
do. There's a good
ночью.
reason for that, because Andy has literally nothing special. He's boring. But now we're using Max.
Если не будет, то
He's the
мы
opposite of Fritz, who
будем
you talked
жаловаться в
about as a
спортлото.
ranged specialist. Max is the opposite. He's a direct combat specialist. So all of his ranged units have actually one less range and are weaker, so they suck. But like in return,
Ну,
all of
как
his
видите,
tanks
сложность миссии растет в
attacks that one
геометрической
hit is way
прогрессии.
stronger.
Просто врагов все
So this
больше,
map is a
у них
survive for 5
больше
turns. You can kind of
различной
see a blue
техники.
enemy infantry sneaking over to our HQ.
Но
And it will
ничего,
capture by
сейчас
turn,
мы
by turn,
тоже
so I
не
think,
выкомшиты.
Turn 5.
turn 5, and we need to defend for 5-6 turns. I don't remember off the top of my head. Basically, what we're going to do is try to camp a rocket, despite being max, just so that it can shoot. Yeah, there we go. It's an
Так, нам нужно несколько ходов
and we have a tank right
пропустить,
above the rocket to deter
так
any of
сказать,
the enemy 8 units
засидеть,
from approaching
потому
it, so
что
we keep
надо,
it safe.
чтобы пехота
And yeah, that's it.
врага
We're good to go.
продвинулась подальше и
If we
освободила
got any
путь
donations,
к
well, we captured
вражеской
the HQ.
базе.
Go for it.
Oh, yes, we do. We have an anonymous $2,000
А так они
donation.
залетают на нашу базу, начинают ее
And
ломать.
Control GG, I think this one's at you. It's just
Но
says, "Thanks for
как
speedrunning
бы
one of
мы
my
сейчас
favorite
это
GBA
урегулируем.
games."
Well, thanks for the donation.
We also have a $25 donation from Tashner that says, CO power activate. Hyper donate. All MSF units recover plus 5 HP and gain
Вот,
plus
как
25
видите, у
support.
базы осталось совсем
I
чуть-чуть
love it,
хп,
Dance
но
Wars. Super
мы
excited for the run and cannot wait
все
for
рассчитали,
the Switch. Good luck to
поэтому
LGG and Tech Crew is the
пехоту
best crew.
разваливаем.
Oh, yeah.
А, нам тут надо продержаться просто. Это миссия на оборону, кстати. Я что-то не
Axis volley,
упустил
question
этот
mark?
момент
No, it's going
немного.
pretty well.
Yeah, fun fact, you can actually clear that in 5 turns if you were out. Now, I have no idea how Fiddle Wars managed to do it, but they did. So if you want to try and figure it out, it's a very, very cool puzzle.
All right, so this is the first map where we're introduced to Fog of War. Where
Кайф.
we can't really attack anything we can't see. We can only see each unit can only see like a specific number of tiles from where they are. Recon units are one example where they can see
Так,
further. The most important
на
thing
этой
to
карте,
note
короче,
about
у нас
Fog of
туман
War
войны
game is that if a
появляется.
unit is in a coral reef or a forest, enemy units cannot see that unless they're next to
Так
it.
что мы
So we're actually just
никого
turning our
атаковать
APC
пока не можем. Тут
into a
не
forest.
видно врагов.
So there is a battleship below us that can attack us at range, but it can't actually see it because it doesn't have any units next to it. So that
Но мы
APC
можем
is safe.
тоже прошмыгнуть мимо врагов.
And in order for the AI to move, they can see the whole map outside of forests and reefs.
Вот. Так как у него там есть батл-крузер у противника, и он, в принципе, может атаковать, но так как рядом с нами нету вражеских юнитов,
And
он
we're
нас
gonna see another instance
позволяет
of the city glitch where
вот
that
этот
unit gets
маленький
attacked
отряд
from us
пропустить
from the city, but they're
пехотный.
not gonna do anything next turn. Which is very convenient, because we can just safely
А если он пропускает эту пехоту,
Yeah, we take those.
то мы залетаем в город.
Now everything else is just going to die, but we don't care. We've got our...
Так сказать, нас не видят противники, мы просто по стелсу, можно сказать, проходим через этот туман войны.
You kind of tell the difference between Fire Emblem strats and Advanced Wars strats. Advanced Wars just let everything die.
Yeah. Well, I could protect them if I really wanted to, but
That costs time.
yeah. It's like, better let the AI do something.
Keep this up and we'll drive Olaf out of here in no time.
Так, доламываем базу, отлично, отлично, все.
Alright, so that
Это
was
победа.
actually the last Blue Moon mission. So we'll never see the Blue Moon COs again.
Отлично, очень
We're going
быстро
to go,
прошли.
Travel around the world.
Versus question mark.
Alright. Sammy is late. It's okay. She's here on time.
Yeah, so Sammy is the third CO we have access to.
Классная
And my
серия
favorite
игр.
personally,
Вот.
she's a
Скоро же у
infantry
них
specialist.
ремейк выходит.
So all of her infantry
Или
and
даже новая
units of,
игра,
well, again, all
по-моему.
the little people running around are stronger. And also,
По-моему,
all of
да,
her
ремейк
transport
на
units have
Switch
plus
там,
one
или
move.
может еще
And
какие-нибудь
if you've noticed
платформы.
the general trend of the speedrun, you can kind of realize that's pretty useful.
Yeah, so plus one move is actually like necessary in order to
В декабре
I'm
даже.
trying
Вот.
to make because they just happen to have just enough range in order to hit the HQ with that plus one range. How unfortunate.
Так, ну сразу по верху, по краешку карты проводим нашу пехоту, пролетаем на
And we'll get to
транспортнике.
see it once we hit the HQ.
Yep. So if you remember when we captured HQ with our other COs, HQ's HP went from 20 to 10, and then 10 to 0.
Тут тоже туман
This is what
войны.
happens with Sammy.
So there is a little asterisk.
Главное, чтобы никто не заметил.
Let's go. And that's really important because that means
Игрока,
our
ну вот
infantry
сейчас
can
что-то
take a
есть.
hit, but still capture in 2 turns, depending on their HP. So yeah, we actually just took a hit, and if there's any other CO, we can't capture in 2 turns because we can only bring.
Наша пехота сейчас вот прокачалась, как бы она... У нас много юнитов, вот. Мы как бы можем пережить 1 тычку от вертолета.
I'm really liking the first 5 seconds of our theme.
Ну, сменили для этого персонажа.
Every CO has their own unique theme, and like the music is great in this game. It's just too bad due to the nature of speedruns.
То есть персонажи вот тут отличаются, разные бафы дает, вот и данный персонаж тут как раз тащит. Вот у нас тут Энди, Макс и Сэмми. И в основном, как бы мы за Макса играем. Но вот где-то, как бы, можно поменяться. Где-то кто-то будет поэффективнее, вот как и в прошлой миссии. Мы смогли затанковать урон от врага.
And the reason is we want as few enemies as possible to move per turn because we are kind of bottlenecked.
Так, ну нам тут, короче, на самом деле проще зачистить эту карту, чем ее было зараутить. Очень такая непростая миссия. Противник использует свои обилки там, прожимает эти мораль-бусты. Да, вот правильно подметили, что Сэмми у нас качает пехоту, у Макса лучше танки, а у Энди он, так сказать, такой золотая середина. Плюс с обилочкой на ремонт, там вот это дело. А вот у противников вообще куча обилок порой, и надо, так сказать, всегда адаптироваться к этой игре.
No problem. This one has 3 exclamation points, but I don't want to blow anybody's ear out or anything. So Sam donates $100 and says, "Advance Wars."
Мы просто все защищаем тут.
DEG donates $100 and says, Advance Wars holds so many wonderful memories of high school bus rides with friends, passing a GBA back and forth for multiplayer. I can't wait to see how much better legrandgrand is than we were.
Not relatable. I remember those days.
Donation to Minecraft because we always need more.
Отлично, это победа. Ну, это первая победа, где мы, так сказать, сражаемся со всеми противниками. Ну, в принципе, все идет по маслу, без рестартов, там, без всей вот этой фигни.
Sammy's going to be useful here
Все
again
как
because
надо.
We want the +1 movement on our APC, which is the ground transport again. So we're going to be trying to capture the HQ, which is in the bottom right corner, and what we're going to try to do is bait all of these yellow units to go towards the right choke points.
Опять используем Сэма, нам дополнительный БТР пригодится.
That rocket's in a convenient spot. Yeah, that nice range there, huh? How are we going to hold this choke point?
I wonder.
Well, I guess we'll worry about that. That's a problem for future legrandgrand.
Так, противник очень интересно расположил свои Катюши. И мы хорошо их застакали, в принципе. Вот. Просто кучка застряла у моста. И теперь мы чистим проход и провозим наш диверсионный отряд к вражеской базе. Вот как видите, просто стакаем толпу врагов, чтобы потом провести диверсию.
We can take damage and just capture in 2 turns anyways, so we're good. And GG.
This one belongs to me.
Так, ну, как бы
Let's go.
Мы получили немного урона, но все еще за Сэмми мы можем пережить
Alright,
одну тычку.
Kanbei finally realized
Даже от
that
танка.
maybe he should build
Пехота у
factories, so
нас
he'll build a
забафанная.
factory on next map. Very well
И
placed.
отличное прохождение миссии.
And again, Sammy is our choice.
You'll notice the pattern with Sammy.
Kanbei's got us surrounded.
И скачем дальше по глобальной карте.
Looks like things are gonna get rough.
But look, this time we have an airport. What's an airport again? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
I'm not going to use it then.
Yeah,
Вот нам тут обещают... Нам тут объясняют, что у нас есть аэропорт. И Саша спрашивает, а что такое вообще аэропорт, ребята?
I don't know. I flew all the way
Вы,
here. I
кстати,
don't
в
know
чате знаете, что такое аэропорт?
Alright. So we got some, I mean,
Ну, нам аэропорт здесь особо не нужен.
do we have one?
Закидываем
Oh, we do have one. I don't
транспортником
know what it does, but we do have one.
и юнитов.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna use it though. Because I don't know what it does, so why would I click it?
Yep.
It's not what you do. Okay, so in order to capture this HQ, what are you doing here, you? Okay, well, that has probably happened before, but that's very funny.
Yeah, so generally speaking, the speedrun for this game is pretty scripted. Like, there isn't going to be much variance in most maps with the enemy AI. There's technically, like, damage rolls, but, like, in some of the maps, you don't actually have any damage rolls. And, like, strats for most maps, with a few huge exceptions, are pretty
И у нас
okay,
пружение.
like, enemy AI shenanigans where they behave a bit differently than usual.
Это
Maybe we should have tried checking out that airport.
ничего страшного, в принципе.
Now,
Просто попробуем сделать то же самое еще разок.
90% of the time the strat works, and then sometimes just there is a unit that's not going to move that's supposed to move, and you just can't do anything about it. So you just restart.
Говорят, в 90% случаев эта страта должна работать.
I hope it's going to move.
Ну
What
вот.
I'm gonna do if it doesn't move?
Huh, interesting.
What am I doing wrong?
Так, смотрим, как враги себя поведут.
Forgot an airport, that's what happened.
I'm gonna
По идее, обычно искусственный интеллект должен нам поддаться. Но вот они захватывают аэропорт, и нам не везет.
Never happened before, right?
Yeah.
Жесть, второй раз уже не прокает. Ну, третий раз точно победные.
Let's try that. Let's try soft reset. Maybe that will change things up.
I was gonna joke if this is RNG manipulation, but like with the
At this
nature of
point,
this
it
game, it
might
might
be.
actually be.
Like there is potential for RNG manipulation, but there's so little gains from doing it. That
На всякий
no one
случай
is really-
перезашел из игры,
The
так
strats are
сказать,
just
чтобы
very
подкрутить
scripted in general,
РНГ.
so usually.
Like I think some people actually looked into it and realized that. there was
В
not
принципе,
much
это
to-
игра очень заскриптована.
Yeah, 'cause, like, in advanced war,
Страты
you don't
по
have to
ней,
worry
они
about- if we're comparing it to
всегда
Fire,
одинаковые.
we're
Но
not
что-то
worried
вот,
about, like, hit rates,
наверное,
crit rates,
перезапуск,
levels and
может,
stuff.
поможет.
Like, the only real luck to around a combat is like a damage roll, which
То есть
usually
нам надо заставить искусственный интеллект работать в нашу
What
пользу.
are you doing? Okay.
Ну, он либо делает это, либо не
How can I
делает.
control that?
let's see.
'Cause that doesn't kill. Yeah.
A fighter? Oh, it's a 5 HP fighter. 7 HP.
I bet this is gonna fail. But
Distractions. Well, one thing to note that we haven't mentioned is that
Так,
the
ну
AI
тут уже какая-то импровизация пошла.
transportation units. So like if they can reach a T-copter or a APC unit or something, then they will typically go after that.
okay, that would have worked. Nice. Okay.
Ну-ка,
We're
ну-ка.
good. We're safe.
Вроде что-то получилось. Ну-ка, давай, забегай.
Alright, so I
Да,
didn't need to use the
двойное
power
время
to
использую
capture
мобилку.
because I had just enough range. But since that gives me plus 20, plus 10% defense, that's just enough to actually still have HP in order to capture CHQ.
Yeah, because without that power, you'd probably go down like 3 HP, 2 HP. Not sure how much.
Вот, словили 20% защиты на пехоту. И отлично, это победа.
Funny game.
5 days. Common-base error? Question mark?
Сложный
See, you
этап
didn't need an
был.
airport to win.
Nесколько раз пришлось
That might be
перепроходить.
common-base error.
Ну, раннер уже растерялся, но
Alright,
затащил.
it's time for Max again.
So we're going to be playing against Drake. Drake is the opposite of equal. He is a naval specialist, or how.
Так сказать, почти first try.
But anyways, he's a boat specialist. Weather, it can be random in this map, I believe.
Yes, every turn there is a chance for the weather to change. It can be rain, which doesn't do anything.
Тут, кстати, может быть случайная
Or it can be snow, which
погода.
has a really low chance to happen. And if it happens, well,
Может быть
it's going to be
дождик там.
funky.
So we've got just a few submarines and cruisers. Just basically, they're ready to tank stuff for us and distract the
Что
enemy.
как бы может быть проблема иногда.
And also just help clear a path for the lander to move safely. So again, we have the lander.
It wasn't supposed to
Ну, нужно, короче, отвлекать врагов, танковать.
mix up the units. So there's
Двигаемся
a problem with
немного
these strats that we have is that sure they are really
сейвово.
fast, but if you mess up one thing in the strat, there's a really high chance that you just fail.
It's like due to the scripted nature of most of the strats, is they're very all or nothing. So if you make even a tiny mistake, then
Так,
everything
и
falls
это
apart.
руина.
The best thing to do is just start over and try it again. In most cases.
Тут уже как бы никакая малейшая ошибка не
So
простится.
it's max team.
Так что переигрываем
Got to enjoy
эту
more than 5 seconds of it. Oh, never mind.
миссию.
I do like Drake's team though.
It's pretty navy-ish.
It's like it kind of gets you pumping a little bit, I think.
I really find it so interesting that the themes of the games just matches you so well.
So what we're doing is we just hit the lander inside the reef. And
Так,
again,
главное
in
пехоту
Valka War,
пропихнуть на
enemies
этот
cannot
остров,
see units
где
in reef
все у
unless
нас
you're next to them.
есть.
So right now, Drake cannot see our
Ага.
attack our lander because it's in.
Противник использует
We're
цунами.
just gonna sneak it across.
Well, first off, I need to destroy this battleship because otherwise it's going to destroy our infantry.
And again, the battleship we just destroyed is.
Мы тут еще у нас корабль, короче, спрятался за рифом, поэтому противник не видит его.
And yeah, now there is no indirect unit that can actually hit the infantry.
Так. Мы используем, так сказать, особенности местности для тактического превосходства.
And again, we use max because we're using a lot of direct combat for the water.
It's
Так.
also a little gimmick that there is in this in those Green Earth maps is that every COs have a different map. So we actually don't really pick the maps for the COs. We pick them for the map. And so the next map
Ну,
is a
это,
very
в общем-то,
prime example of that.
гиммик каждой вот этой миссии, это то, что каждый СИО имеет свою карту, с которым мы противостоим.
It is. So there's more gimmicks than
Сказать,
just
тут
route or capture the
куча
AP,
всяких
because there
корпораций,
was a map where you could, capture properties to win, but we just
которыми
had to
управляют
take the
генеральные
Here's
директоры.
a survival map where we have to keep the missile that are just putting that lander alive for 10 turns.
Right. And that if you missed it, we moved.
Так,
the
ну
missile
тут у
to
нас
land
на
in the
выживание,
ocean,
короче,
but it's kind of
карта
in the
пошла.
north, kind of hiding in a reef. So we just need to keep that on
Спрятали
the turns.
побольше нашей техники.
And since the AI doesn't see anything in the reef, it just sees that there is
Нам
no
надо
contact, so it's just
заныкать
not
ее
going to do
в
anything.
рифах
So
еще.
basically now we just have to
Максимально.
waste turns in order to finish the map. So while we do that, you can go ahead with some donations if you have some. Now maybe someone can tell me what an airport is.
Yeah, I would still like to hear the donations to explain what an airport is to me.
Ну, в Front Mission на Геймбой Адвансе не поиграешь. Так что вот, так, ну-ка, сносят нас
What is an airport?
как могут, но надо
Maybe
выстоять.
someone else will know.
Вот выводят подлодку, чтобы ее сбили, но мы ход сэкономим.
Day 5.
Нам нужно еще продержаться. Ну-ка.
Keep them coming.
Пока противник еще сгоняет свою пехоту к нашей базе. Ничего, просто АФК, так сказать, сидим.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that map is a pain. So if you want to keep playing Advance Wars,
Ну-ка,
by the way,
получится
there's a cool community called Advance
или
Wars,
мы
by the way.
проиграем. Но, в принципе, противник очень сильно залез на нашу базу своей техникой, поэтому он не сможет зайти пехотой, короче, в командный центр. И эта победа, мы продержались в этом бою на выживание.
I like how your name is SCB. Where did that come from?
So I bought this game from a flea market, And I never changed the name of the guy who made the cartridge, so yeah, SEB, that one's for you.
Right. So if you're watching the stream right now and this is your cartridge, I want to hear a donation from you, SEB. I can't wait for like 10 faker donations to come in.
Yeah, well, they will have to speak French too, because...
It was from France. Yeah, I imagine you bought this in France, so...
Так, поехали.
Alright. So, you know the drill. There's like HQ in the right side.
Говорят,
Toggle
раннер
for some
купил
units.
картридж
Infantry
свой
over
на
and
этот
just use the
самый,
bait. Capture.
на, ну, короче, бэушный.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the
И,
fun fact about
там
this
то
map
ли,
is
то
it's
ли
the exact
имя
same
игрока
for
было
RTX, so there is
записано,
no
то ли
focus on
он
this
это,
work, even if we had
как бы оно на
even if
картридже
we had the
написано,
movement
но
for
он, короче, не стал менять,
uh,
так что оно так и осталось,
In this case, we're
сохранилось в
actually using a
истории.
mech, which is the
Так
infantry
что
type.
если он
They're basically stronger
где-то
infantry,
есть, то пусть
but they only have 2 moves
отзовется.
instead of 3.
yeah.
They're considered really good because they're just so cheap.
Well, they're 3 times more expensive than infantries.
But they're triple the price of infantry, but they still have like a lot of firepower for their price.
The interesting thing with this with mechs is that they have a tiny
Так,
bit
у нас тут
more
ракетная
defense,
пехота,
so it's
она
going
как
to
бы
allow strategy.
посильнее обычной.
Because we're gonna bring this HQ down to 5, and we're gonna be
Кидаем
taking
баф,
with the
запрыгиваем на вражескую
Not any
базу.
hit. It's going to be a hit from a bomber. Now, bombers are the strongest units in the
Сейчас
game.
мы получим,
They can
наверное,
just-
урона,
those are
но
bombers.
мы
Those are
переживем
bombers
его.
right there. They are
Спасибо
anti-ground
Сэме
fighting units, and
и
they
ее
just
бафам.
hit you like a truck. Yeah, so, but the fact that we even survived a full HP bomber says a lot about how much defensive buffs we got, while being on a city as well, which gives you another defensive buff.
And GG.
Нам очень повезло, потому что
Bad guy.
бомбардировщик был с полным хп.
Can definitely tell that Sammy
И
has
мы
a
с ним
thing
мы
for-
пережили это, атаку.
What? No, just me. Okay.
I think they have like in dual strike they have like there's like a really popular combo people like doing with
Yeah,
them.
it's
Кайф.
like it's pretty canon actually. Like I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Anyway,
Okay,
but this
we-
map is pretty interesting because for a while I was doing Andy's
Все,
mission.
двигаемся дальше
And
по
then when
карте.
I did the ILs for this game, where I tried to finish the maps with as little turn as possible and the max rank, turns out that this map actually had a more
Говорят, раннер интересная карта.
consistent strategy. And also, it turns out that if you try to do it in a speedrun setting, so don't care about any units outside of what is very necessary, it's about 3 seconds. It was about 3 seconds faster, and then the world record holder.
Говорят, тут несколько страт есть разных. Там для индивидуальных уровней вот это вот все.
Oh hey, we're in a forest. That's convenient.
Yeah, on top of that, this mission is really interesting because you have to keep this very infantry that I just put in the middle of the enemy.
Вот, приземлились прямо в лес. Это позволяет нам скрыть нашу пехоту от противников.
And yeah, that infantry is hidden in a forest, so no one can see it. And it's conveniently enough that forest is exactly 3 tiles away from HQ, and you can't help but just feel that's intentional.
Yeah, and
Like,
really,
this game is so cleverly designed.
when you route LTCs, you just realize that
Отлично,
everything
все убежали противники, рассредоточились, и мы тем временем выскочили из леса, запрыгнули на вражескую базу.
So that's the reason.
И база захвачена.
All right, on to the scary missions. You might have realized, like, there is 3 missions left, and we are only halfway through the estimate. But those missions are definitely interesting. Like, up until now, it was basically tutorial, where we explain like advanced stuff about the game. There is like 30 maps which are also tutorials.
Wait. We're playing against Andy?
Oh yeah, I'm playing against Andy.
Wait, so who's the real Andy then? Is he a faker?
Это что-то вроде, так сказать, обучающей карты
Faker?
для более так сказать, расширенных страт в игре.
Alright, so this is a bit of an annoying mission because we're teaming up with Eagle, who is AI controlled. And we don't really have any control over what he does, so we just kind of hope he cooperates.
У нас тут есть союзники, они контролируются искусственным интеллектом.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
И
I like the faraway bomber.
I mean, green units
как бы они
don't
не
do a lot of
особо
stupid
с
silly
нами
stuff, like
срабатываются
green,
на самом деле.
It follows the same pattern.
Yeah, the same pattern.
Oh, well, the faker Andy knows what he's doing apparently, so maybe we aren't good enough to be his fake.
Because yeah, this mission is mostly really long because there is like Eagle and Andy fighting, and so there is a lot of units around. So that takes forever.
Очень длинная миссия, потому что очень много юнитов, много ходов.
Okay, here we go.
Сразу 3 фракции одновременно.
Bugenhagen donates $250 and says an airport is an area designated for the takeoff and landing of the aircraft, including one or more runways.
Ну, сейчас попробуем пропихнуть нашу пехоту на вражескую базу.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
BZ Archer donates $5 and says, "What is an airport? A miserable pile of layers."
Противник там использует свою способность Lightning Strike.
Now, have at you.
Вот, дамажит пехоту зеленого нашего союзника.
Yeah, we do. We have a Crash Boom Bang donates $25 and says, "Hey, Grand and Kirby.
Hello.
This donation coming from Ursa and everyone else in the."
Ну вот они друг друга месят. Мы пока
isn't quite Fire Emblem, but it's close to that.
противника
No
kучкуем,
Fire Emblem in this run, but hey, in the Grand
чтобы нам не мешал.
Absolutely. And
И
as for the
пролетаем
airport, I think it's a
на
tornado that only
этом
turns
самом
left. Or
транспортере.
right? Good luck.
Oh, so we get to see Andy's CO power, or the Faker CO power, which doesn't really do anything besides heal everyone.
Так,
from 5 HP.
используем
3 HP, I
починку.
don't remember.
It's 2 HP.
2 HP. Okay, so I was wrong on both accounts. It really goes to show how well I know this game.
Okay, see if this one makes sense to you. Stop Boo
И вот мы
donates
добежали до
$5 and
вражеской
says,
базы.
"An airport is where you plug in the air, obviously."
That's why.
I approve. I approve. I can tell the audience really loved that joke too.
Alright, so yeah, as you can see, very easy map. Once you
Ломаем ее, ломаем.
live, all the tanks are not realizing what's going on, and
And I was just like, oh no, we need to come back.
oh no,
Oh no.
we owe it all to you.
Доломали.
Do you agree?
Вот это да.
I mean, he did some work. He did some work.
He did some work. He managed to destroy bombers and battleship. Alright, so like this mission is scary because it's pretty random with whatever the AI does. Now those 2 missions against Darth Vader himself, that's a whole different story.
Довольно рандомная следующая
So I call him
миссия.
Darth Vader.
Hello.
Hello there. So Sturm is broken. So Sturm has the innate
И у
ability
нас тут есть
for all of his
противник,
units to take
это
terrain penalties
местный
without
Дарт
moving.
Вейдер,
So,
да.
like, normally, when you have a tank, you lose like it takes a lot of moves
Как
to go
про
from
это шутят
reinforced
раннеры.
But you'll soon see how he moves his units on his turn. And like
Закупим
just in this
еще
mission alone, he
немного
has, like, a
техники.
20% defense debuff.
Нам пригодится.
On the next mission as well.
Yeah, so just because he's so broken. Like look at that. Look at how they're just blitzing through all the forests.
Forests are usually 2 tile movements, so they're just
Oh, look, saw the rocket. Look at that. Look at it.
A rocket normally is like you go through 1 forest and then that's it. You don't move anymore. But Storm doesn't care.
Огромная группировка у противника,
They, like,
просто
intentionally nerfed him in the campaign
не
to
просто
be
к ним
manageable.
подобраться.
And even then, like, it's
He's still very good.
very tough. Yeah, let's go.
Нам нужно еще больше
So we used to do this map
юнитов,
with Max for a while, just throughout
чтобы им
everything,
противостоять.
simple and clean. But we managed to figure out a way to make this strat consistent with Sammy, and so we'll see how this works out. Well, and then it's Silicon Squid is the one who holds our record.
И вот очень много юнитов очень долго
There's
ходят.
some funny story with him. So at first he was the one
А,
holding the
покемоны
record.
скоро. Да,
He was
покемоны
pretty
следующие.
slower and
Минут
very
через
optimized.
20.
But it was okay. Like he
30.
managed to finish the row, and props to him, and wrote everything when no one has ever done any work on it. Then I picked up the game and I.
У нас тут много ПВО, зенитки вот эти. Так что мы расправляемся с противниками, которые залетают на нас авиации. Там будет, короче, рандомайзер. Вообще.
Yeah, it was in the low 40s. I don't remember off the top of my head.
And yeah, all that just because I picked up the game and he was like, yeah, let's come back and have some competition around it.
Yep. So it's an example of a lot of cooperation and also healthy competition.
Ну, прикольная игра,
So always good to
короче.
see that.
Что-то занимательная. Конечно, очень долго эта миссия проходит.
And make sure it survives. Now, making sure it survives is a difficult part, but
Но мы, в принципе, распотрошили врага. Он вот Растекся.
Yes,
Растекся. Мы еще вот подводку используем, чтобы сосредоточить его юниты. Он еще, кстати, засейвился на всякий случай, потому что тут рандом может быть неприятный.
Yeah, and the reason why this works is that somehow the strat that we're doing makes it so it's pretty consistent what he builds. So I think that's good, but I'm
Doing
just
some
going
safety
to
saves here
keep it
because,
safe.
again, like just due to the nature of strats for this kind of game, it's all or nothing. If something goes wrong, then you have to just redo the entire map.
Yeah, if
We're
this
doing a
map
safety.
dies, then it's over.
И вот
I lost my
высаживаемся.
armor on the left, I'm
Добрались
getting
до
all the
вражеской
batteries,
базы, но он
I'm
может не
done,
повезти.
There's no way to win. On top of that, I use Sunny. Oh yeah, no, I can't
Oh.
do that. I'll have to wait.
Ну, скорее всего, это будет кооп, рандомайзер
I'm guessing you're
гонка.
waiting for like an opening
как
to drop the
обычно.
mech unit before
Yep.
trying to capture.
I need basically I need
Ждешь там 4 человека, это классическое такое покемоновское месилово. И нам не повезло, поэтому... Ну хорошо, мы засейвились посреди боя. Так что продолжаем с того момента.
This seems pretty awesome. Right, so the MD tank's still there.
Yeah, that's normal, but I'm going to bait out with the...
Oh yeah, because the tank is going to go after the teacup because of the AI, right?
Yeah.
Because as a reminder, the AI likes to prioritize transport units like APCs and teacups, like that. Oh, let's target the transportation unit instead of the infantry that's about to capture our HQ.
And so now I'm just going to block the bridge, use my power to actually reach. If you actually use an infantry on this map, then the M tank actually doesn't move for whatever reason.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's why he needs the mech.
And like almost nothing can reach us compared to infantry's gonna do
Отлично.
nothing. There's like a battleship that hit us.
Бафаем себе пехоту. Заходим на базу.
Actually,
Hopefully. Oh.
Так, тут есть батлшип, который может нам дать по шее, но вроде мы должны это пережить. Ой-ой-ой, ой-ой-ой, ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. О, не повезло. Мало хп очень было, не выжили.
That's what I wanted to do. Nice buffer.
Misclicks happen. Feels bad when it happens.
We're burning all the bad luck for before the final.
Немного
This
мискликнул.
is all totally RNG manipulation for the last map. Don't worry.
I hope it's
Вообще не везет на этой миссии.
So like if you feel like this map is hard, wait for the next mission. And anyone who's played this game definitely remembers the last mission as being a giant mess.
Probably taking.
Но это еще не сложная миссия. Вот следующая будет вообще РНГ-фестиваль.
This last mission is really no joke.
Говорят, казуально, чтобы следующую миссию пройти, нужно час потратить как минимум.
So we'll see.
It's all a buffer for the final mission. Yeah, now the battleship is on heal AI, so...
So by heal AI, what he means by heal AI is that when an enemy unit's like low on HP, then they're gonna want to run away to like a factory or an airport apparently, I think. Right? That's what an airport does? Yeah, I think airports heal units, I think. Yeah, they're just gonna run away to get heals. Okay. So yeah, you saw the battleship just go to a port. I think that's called a port.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of the airport, the King's Pride donates $50 and says, everyone asks what is airport, but nobody ever asks how is airport.
All
right, that's it.
Now we...
Ну что, повезет нам или нет? Повезет или нет? Все, ломаю эту базу.
I think this game is pushing them.
Но новую купим.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Отлично.
So yeah, on this map, Sturm was nerfed because as you could see, it didn't use this power, and this power never built. That's because they are keeping it for this mission. And now, in order to deal with it, we're going to have not just one seal, as you can see here, but 3 seals at the same time with 3 different armies.
Yeah, this is a pretty big map. So we have Andy in the center as red, Max is blue on the left.
И очередной бой. И вот это вот уже
And we're fighting this.
будет люто.
And on top of that,
У нас вообще все силы, так сказать, все наши персонажи. Классический такой замес вот в таких играх, когда вы просто идете наверх в огромную вражескую крепость
You might
Я
actually have
помню,
Max
что-то
lose.
такое
That's
еще
okay.
бывало в этом самом...
Max's role is kind of just to get set up with as many direct units as
Как
possible as a
его...
direct unit specialist, so that when he's
Ну,
got all
короче,
his
не
units in the
важно.
left corner, he can just start plowing a path for Sammy to go through and try to capture. So Sammy's role is the usual Sammy thing: get a transport unit.
Ну, это
with infantry so
чисто
she can get
классика
raids and
жанра.
capture. And she's also going to be helping with baits. So there's a lot going on.
И мы всеми
And
контролируем
it's very, very random.
в данном
Yeah,
случае.
this is like the map where you just everything can go wrong. There's just nothing, no script to it really. You just have to improvise it completely.
Well, I have a basic plan, but that's
Ну,
about
очень,
it.
очень рандомная карта, все может вообще пойти не так.
So first off, we have to take care of
Мы
all
очень
those aircraft.
быстро всех
So
юнитов
those are-
раскидываем.
Half of those are the big thick ones are bombers, as we mentioned. They are anti-ground units. Whereas these
В Вангрисере, по-моему, такое было еще, да. Вот прям такая же карта,
Okay.
мост, там, вражеская крепость. Вот это все. И 3 отряда, так сказать, юнитов.
Yep. Yeah, we never really explain what those do, but there's a lot going on, so it's all good.
Но Вангрисер вообще супер подлый, там почти в каждой миссии она посередине появляется какой-нибудь партизанский отряд. Это вот здесь мы, так сказать, партизаним всех, а вот в Вангрисере там постоянно партизанят тебя, там появляется, так сказать, по сюжету отряд врагов, которые заходят в тыл всегда. Почти на каждой миссии, по-моему, такое есть. Это вообще шутка.
This is just bait again.
And Sammy turn. Boom.
Now the problem is power builds as a comeback mechanic. So if you lose
Ну
to
там
me,
Fire Emblem
somebody
тоже,
will have your power. And now what's the
как
story
здесь,
with,
надо залетать на базу.
Storm's
В
power?
Fire Emblem еще можно использовать специальный там посох, который тебя телепортирует вообще в любое место, и ты можешь там какого-нибудь сильного юнита телепортировать.
High power.
Правда, в Fire Emblem, по-моему, почти всегда стоит какой-нибудь командир, короче, на базе. Ну, тут, в принципе, тоже юниты раскиданы, мы их выманиваем просто. Бух.
So basically now Andy's wiped.
Да,
and
это
is out
Метеор
of the game.
Страйк. И
sort of
он
our
просто
unit just
кидает
with,
здоровый
one
метеор
person button.
на
Great.
кучу наших танков. Да, у
And
нас
keeps
тут
building more.
огромная куча остается с 2 хпшками. Это, в принципе, стандартная ситуация, когда в этой игре дает по щам и остается 2 хп.
Yeah, more bait on the top left, and then I
Ну
need
чё, мы
to
форсировали
have
реку
as many, copters
на
as
транспортнике.
possible, because these are painful to deal with.
И нужно больше наживки раскидать для наших противников. Вот он сейчас закупил пехоту. Надо дефать базу, они развалят наших юнитов, но мы как бы затягиваем этот бой.
Committed to too much,
И на всякий случай
don't have
сохранимся.
any mistakes happen yet, so good to go.
What is that bomber doing?
It just destroyed an APC,
Oh, right, because, okay, they like prioritize.
so now it's dead.
See ya. So again, we're trying to get Max set up with all of his tanks in the upper left corner. So once we have an opening, we just plow a path for Sammy to capture.
And it would be a real shame if Storm decided to use all power on Max.
Yeah, because that kind of kills all of his offense. So what Sammy's role is here is to build as much bait as possible. So Meteor Strike prioritizes dealing as much economic damage as possible. So we're just kind of making a ball of expensive units so we can bait the Meteor Strike away from Max. Another fun thing is that when using Meteor Strike or for enemy AI in general,
Короче, мы тут,
when they
в
see
принципе,
a
все наши
combat unit,
финансы
they see that
выводим,
value is double. So artillery
чтобы
costs 6,000,
отвлечь
but
вражеский АИ.
for the purposes of calculating who to target with Meteor Strike, they cost 12,000. So you'll see legrandgrand building more green artillery units in the bottom right
Так что
corner.
пошли экономические раунды,
What's it called? Price, I guess?
пистол раунды.
The value of that bottom right corner to almost guarantee that Meteor Strike will go after Sammy and not Max. So basically more bait.
Okay. And
Короче, экономика в игре очень смешно работает за счет этого.
They're really good at not dying in one hit, pretty much. Well, that is if you're not.
Я не совсем понял, что он объяснял. Типа, цена юнитов растет для всех, что ли? И поэтому он не дает врагу их покупать.
That is bait. Okay. Big push begins now.
Oh, you're going for it now. Nice.
Well, we're going to set it up now.
Okay, getting set up. Okay, gotcha.
Because like the problem now
Так,
is that
поехали.
you have to get through that corridor of death in the middle. And there's a forest blocking the way. So
Делаем
is
некоторый
the
сетап.
movement cost,
Нам тут
for
надо
your
запихать чисто
turn,
коридор из
it's only
танков.
one, so you can clearly see that like I'll have some problems that Max won't have. That's fine.
Берем противника в клещи чисто.
Max, I mean turn. Whatever.
Right. Building more artillery to bait the meteor strike to the bottom right corner.
Но это все не для того, чтобы его, так сказать, развалить, а для того, чтобы послать его войска в ту сторону, куда нам надо.
That's it.
Чтобы расчистился проход к его базе.
Which is why I kept it at 1 HP, and that's fine.
Yeah, so that bomber that just moved is at 1 HP, so it's not going to attack anything.
Oh, nice. Get some free hits.
Ooh, that's a lot of units at the front.
Отлично, отлично. Противник забайнился.
How am I
Они
going to go through all of this?
освобождают базу
Very
свою.
valid questions, because I have no idea for now. That.
Но все равно у раннера как бы не особо есть план в этой ситуации, потому что противник очень как-то неудачно застакался.
Power for good measure.
По идее, он должен был освободить нам путь
Alright.
к базе, но что-то пока сидит еще там танк.
I think that's safe to save now.
This looks scary because
I need to power. So using Max's power gives me even more strength, and on top of that, it also gives me +1 movement with my unit, because that was totally needed.
oh yeah, to get that weakened anti-air out of the way, yeah.
More like this.
Получили еще силы и получили +1 к передвижению. Так что мы можем немного продвинуться тут.
By the way.
Yes, this is the power of Max and his CO power.
Actually, this is a dream position.
Да, мы выбираем путь, так сказать, немного агрессивной зачистки.
I'm not going to say that too early. This map.
Иначе нас противник не пустит.
Because I jinxed it.
So dropping this infantry here, it's safe, actually. It's safer than it looks like.
Yeah, because it's surrounded by blue unit. Our what's it called? Max's units. Except for on the right side, which is blocked by an APC, and that's not going to attack. And there aren't any ranged units there either from Sturm, so we're probably fine. But I guess time will tell. Right?
We'll see on this turn.
Fingers crossed.
So another one.
Okay, we're good.
Так, ну пока вроде все нормально. Ага, Метеор Страйк пошел сюда.
I hope they won't.
О, удачно. Он специально закинул туда всех юнитов,
No, it's there since the start.
чтобы противник забайтился кинуть туда Метеор Страйк.
Because, again, Sturm builds then
И так как вот они нужны только для того, чтобы затанковать их. Вообще
That's fine.
на протяжении всей этой миссии не использовали
Can
особо.
I actually destroy them?
О. Так сказать, специально под радиус Метеор Страйка подставил юнитов.
Okay, and he built missiles and rockets which do not counterattack because they're both ranged. So you're
Теперь интересно, может ли раннер пробить оборону врага?
So you should be able to plow through.
Okay, on the
Вроде бы должно получиться.
That's just enough range.
Но как бы достаточно хрупко. Так.
So your goal is, I'm guessing your goal is to clear out the missile and the rocket next to. Well, the rocket doesn't matter, does it?
Ну, в принципе, база врага, она открыта. Но если мы туда залетим, нас развалят.
Make sure that the green infantry is surrounded so that none of the tanks can reach it.
Пехоты у нас не так много, как хотелось бы.
And we also kind of want to see if we can block off the factory so that Sturm can't build anything.
Но, в принципе, зеленая пехота, она окружена, поэтому танки вражеские к ней не подойдут. Просто в оборону взяли пехоту.
Okay, here we go.
Truth.
This is
Немного по безопасной
Again,
стратегии
plus one blue
идем.
from double time.
If any of the 2 infantries that I have on the field die, it's over, by the way.
И вот он, вон момент
realize,
правды,
just
так
catch
момент
it, it's
истины. Пошел.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Бафаемся.
I'm destroying this.
Ловим защиту для
I
пехоты.
think I'm good. From here, I think I'm good. I'm going to keep it safe. and
Надо
keep it
заблокировать танки
There's a
вражеские.
decent chance he has the CO power already.
Вроде должно получиться. Сейчас следующим ходом мы выигрываем.
Unless I destroy too many things, because again, it's a comeback factor. Not really,
Да, на всякий
how
случай
many
потратим
units I
денег
destroy,
на
because even if
мало ли
tank
что.
builds, if you destroy units, you get like twice as more
Есть,
if you
конечно,
lose units, so
возможность
Is
камбэка
that
для
MD
врага.
gonna reach?
it should attack the MD tank, or well,
Oh, wait. Yeah, that works.
okay,
Okay, I think
that's,
you're good. Time will be coming up, I think.
Yep.
Отлично, все сработало.
HQ.
Враг завалил именно танк наш.
3, 2, 1, time.
И сейчас он берет командный центр и это время.
Good run.
Ну-ка, опа, 54 минуты 28.
Line in the game.
Отлично, он уложился в
I
эстимейт.
skipped it, but
Oh, that's
Кайф.
it's a Darth Vader argument.
Были опасные манипуляции АИ, но в принципе тут даже сейвиться на последней миссии не пришлось, лодиться на последней миссии не пришлось, все
Have we
вообще
gotten
удачно
any more
сложилось.
donations?
Do you want another airplane or
О,
Yeah, let's go
кайф.
for one. Let's
How
go for
about
one.
one more?
Да,
This is Ginger
да,
Nest that
победа,
donates
победа,
$50
можно
and
сходить
says,
за
"I'm
шаурмой,
going to
самое
make an
время,
airport joke, but it
ребята,
probably wouldn't land."
отдыхать.
Perfect.
Let's go. GG.
Следующий раунд
Yeah,
будет
thanks,
после
GG for
перерыва.
having me, and thanks a lot to, well, the French restream. Big shout out to them.
Спасибо,
They're
что
doing
смотрели.
an awesome job out there,
Да.
restreaming this event.
Да.
And also, if you want to run Advance Wars or any Advance Wars, there is a Discord for it. We're like 5 people, so don't be scared. We are nice people. And yeah, if you want to get into running that, if you want to get into LTCs as well, we can have a room for that because there is place for it.
Вот приглашают там в комьюнити этой
Oh
игры.
yeah, like it's some super fun challenges. If you love the game casually, you want to replay it, but don't want to do a speedrun where you have to retry over and over and over again. Just want to look into all the maps as puzzles. It's really fun. I've got quite a few maps as solutions on my channel. But yeah, Advance Wars is a super fun game, and I can't wait for the remaster on the Switch. So hopefully we can have that soon on Nintendo. That'd be great.
Be sure to follow him, by the way, on Twitch. Twitch.tv/legrandgrand. You can see it on the stream layout.
И вот скоро в декабре выйдет ремастер, все его ждут.
It's on speedrun.com, and if anyone wants to message me on Twitter, I can link it there.
Вот показывают наши ранги на миссиях,
Available.
которые мы получили.
And yeah, and well, that was Advance Wars.
Титрах.
Thanks for watching.
Прям
Enjoyed.
кайф. И в принципе почти на всех миссиях у нас самая высокая скорость прохождения.